I'm going to show you. There's a lot going on here, and there's not much all this text and stuff.
Alpha, the Falcon is back. Prepare for him a hard work with attitude.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of Build the Megazord, where we are looking at issue 25 this time, and we are of course continuing and finishing the fantastic Tyrannosaurus head this week. Now I just want to spend just a little bit of time talking about what's going to be coming up in the next few weeks, because it's going to look slightly different, the channel. We are, for the foreseeable future anyway, going to be continuing with the Tyrannosaurus, which makes sense because that's the main Zord for Megazord mode, and you know, it's the Red Ranger Zord. It's one of the biggest, so that is quite exciting. However, after this week's got quite exciting parts. After this week, the next 6 issues are not that exciting, and it's the way with part work. Sometimes they have to share the cost by putting very small, mediocre parts into one in 1 week to make up for the bigger parts that they're going to do later on down the line. It's sharing the cost. Unfortunately, it happens over the next 6 weeks' time. So I was thinking, how do I make this exciting for you guys? So next week, it's going to be 3 issues in 1, and that will see half of these small parts go through. And then the week after that, I was thinking I need to do something here, because the week after that, it's small parts again, but it's repeating of the same 3 parts that we would have already done. So I was thinking, how do I make it different? So I decided that I'm going to be live streaming issues, what would that be, 29 to 31 in 2 weeks time. So yeah, this will be my first ever live stream where I actually make stuff on the channel, a proper sequential part of a build, and I hope you will join me for it. It's going to happen at 4 o'clock on the Sunday, which I believe is Sunday the 9th of October. 4 o'clock British time, so that is nice and early in the morning for America, or lunchtime in America, depending on where in America you live. And then I'll let you work it out how that equates to you wherever you are in the world. But yeah, 4 o'clock UK time, I'm going to be live streaming. I imagine it'll take about an hour, maybe a little bit more, but hopefully not too much more than that. I've been having quite a lot of fun setting up kind of OBS and my camera setup and different things like that, because I kind of want to make it a really good live stream, even though it's my first. So yeah, I'd like to have your support with that, so come along to the live stream in 2 weeks time, 4 o'clock on the 9th of October. And yeah, and then hopefully with those 6 issues out the way quickly, looking at the horizon, we've got some really meaty stuff to get into after that live stream. So we'll be back to weekly 1 issue videos from then, but over the next couple of weeks it's going to be slightly different, but not this week. This week we are just doing 1 issue. Today we are finishing off the Tyrannosaurus head, so let's get started by looking at what parts come in issue 25. Now this issue comes with a lot of little pieces, and again, my lack of French is failing me. The instructions aren't very clear at some parts, so bear with me as we kind of muddle through this to try and make it work. It starts off simply enough. We have the bottom jaw here of the T-Rex and the bottom set of teeth, and they again just push very neatly on there. Again, if you wish to glue them down you can, but I think they are pretty secure. But again, yeah, if you want to glue them down, just glue them down. And now we get to what I call an optional piece. And I say that because when the original SOC Megazord came out, a lot of people, I seem to remember, had issues with the cannons of the T-Rex being moulded into the mouth here. And there wasn't really an option to kind of have them without. So if you wanted to have a T-Rex without the mouth cannons, you could. You'll leave these 2 kind of pegs exposed, but at the same time, if you want the cannons in, and that's the way it's designed, they are in there like that. I've never really had a problem with the mouth cannons. You know, they're an integral part of the T-Rex, so I'm going to leave them in. But if you want to, you just take them out and job's a good one. As you can see, these are very loose in and out. Maybe they're designed like that, so, or maybe they are designed like that because you'll be able to open the T-Rex mouth. I mean, I'm jumping ahead, but you'll be able to open the T-Rex mouth like that. So maybe they are designed to push in and push out to display it how you want. Oh, there you go, display options, looking great. I'm going to leave them in there like that for now, and if you want to glue them in, you absolutely can, but if you want to leave them loose, you absolutely can do that as well. Now, I'm going to put this aside just for a moment because we're moving on to the complicated part I was talking to you about. Basically, these are the sides of the T-Rex head, and they're wonderfully sculpted. I love the silver and I love the red. And eventually they will just sit on the side there like that. But the mechanisms inside them to make the T-Rex jaw move, as well as the whole thing move away from the Megazord head, is a little complicated. So I'm just going to go very slowly through this, one piece at a time. So move these away for now, and we'll just get the underside of that fin bit. Hold it this way, and then we will bring in this T-Rex head shape here. And I already feel like I've made a mistake, but maybe I haven't. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. So there's two pegs here, which are guide pegs, and then this screw hole here. You can see you've got two holes there, which are the guide holes, and then a screw peg there. So what you need to do is you need to line up these pieces so it sits in there like that, and that is a nice flush fit. You then need to get, a screw and screw it in, which I am just going to do now, not without any music, because I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Okay, no, that does actually go in very nice and easy, so that is good. Just wait for it to take. There we go. Okay, so that is that part all screwed in. Lovely moulding again, no real seam lines, looking great. Now we get on to the part. I'm going to show you the instructions for this part. Actually, there's a lot going on here, and there's not much all this text and stuff, and it is quite hard to do, but let's try and do it. So the first thing we need to do is get a screw with a very small silver washer there. Oh, nearly lost it. Put that over there, like that. And then this screws, I think, into this screw hole here, but it doesn't go into anything. So I'm not entirely sure I've done that right. Maybe that's for a little bit later. I'm not sure, but at the moment that sits in there like that. We then move this aside, get the big neck piece of the T-Rex, just make sure I've got it the right way around. This is the right way around, and we get one of these pegs that came on a sprue there. We've got some rubbery washers for these pegs, so put one washer over that like that, and then I think it's meant to go on there like this, but there's a screw hole in the way, and I don't understand what this red rubber piece does. I mean, is it meant to push in there? Am I meant to push that in and screw that in? I'm gonna have to look at this off camera. Be right back. Okay, right, I've made sense of it. It's actually pretty simple. So you just get the neck piece like that. You get this red peg, you put one of the rubber washers on there, you then push this red peg through the neck like that. You then get this washer and pop it on the end there like that. You then keep that peg pushed through and line it up with this hole here on the inside of the neck like so, and this is fiddly to do because of the angle of everything. But once that is in there like that, you then thread it, you then screw it down through that screw hole there. So just to show you that again, oops. Oh, the washer stayed on. You put the red peg through with the washer on the inside, through the washer on the outside, attach it with the screw hole there. And I'm just going to do this off camera. And there it is. And don't forget there's a metal washer on this screw as well. So there it is, and it goes like that. Of course it's very wobbly this side because we've now got to do the same on the other side, and this side is going to be even fiddlier because we've already secured that side. So what I need to get is this piece here, and then just lined up the guide pegs with the rest of the pegs on the upper part of the head. Easier said than done apparently, but I have done it. And then we screw that piece in nice and securely in there like that. And as you can tell, I am massively cheating and taking this off camera to complete because the screwing is an interesting one. So we then get a screw here and put a metal washer on it like so. Got the metal washer on that screw there. We then get the red peg and put the first of the rubber washers on. Oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Yeah, you're going to have to finagle. That's not even a word! Way around this a bit because you're screwed in one side, it's very hard to get to the other. So you put the peg in like that, but then, I mean, it might be easier if I hadn't screwed down the other side properly, but that's what the instructions said, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to get this little rubber washer and try and thread it around. Oh, nearly there. Oh, no. I'm going to do this off camera, be right back. And again, I massively cheated and did it all off camera, sorry. But trust me, all the washers are in the right place. It's all screwed together properly. And you've got this lovely range of movement here. Very smooth indeed. Yeah, and it's all looking great. The next thing we need to do is cover up all this unsightly screws and stuff like that. So we just need to get this wonderfully detailed painted part and sculpted part here. And what we just do is we just line up all the pegs and clip it into place. That's one side done, and then we do the same on the other side. Click, click, all into place. And then you'll see there's a screw hole there and a screw hole there just to tighten these side wing panel parts together. And I'm just going to go ahead and screw them in now. And there it is, all done. And we've got that lovely decorated side there. The only screw left remaining is this one here, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. You're not going to see that too much. And then of course you've got a nice bright red peg here instead of screw. And then we can move that there like that. Now the next thing we need to do is get these wires out of the way. And it is a slightly different way that we're doing it this time. We have this sprue part here, which is kind of a wire guide. So you see at the base of the neck here, we've got this little notch which the wire needs to kind of sit in, and then we take this part here and line up everything and secure it in place. So then the wire comes out and is free to move, but it is out of the way of the Megazord head, of course, because the Megazord head is going to be sat inside. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side. Make sure the wire is sat flush in that little groove just there. Oh, there we go. And then we've got two pegs there, and we just line up those two pegs and push them in there like that. So we've got the wires coming through the inside of the head, but they're out of the way, and then they come out the base of the neck. And I imagine the electronics for the T-Rex head are going to be inside the T-Rex body when we come to it. So so we'll just leave them loose for now. We're still not done with this Tyrannosaurus head. We just need to get the bottom jaw to the rest of the T-Rex head. So here's the bottom jaw, and you'll see that inside we have a hole just there. We get one of these bigger rubber washers and we pop that in there. We've seen this before with the saber-toothed tiger mouth and the Triceratops mouth. Of course, those had easier access. That is not wanting to go in. I wonder if this is going to be a rare occasion where putting it on the peg first is easier. Let's find out. So let's put it on the peg, and then you line up obviously the mouth with the hole. Like that. And then of course you get the other side. Let's put that on there. And then we need to just push our way in a little bit. Crikey. This is going to be nice and secure. Ooh, I'm going to do this off camera because I don't want to break anything. Be right back. And there we go. So it's a tight little squeeze, but it goes in there. And then of course you got that. Oh, you've got the T-Rex head all done. And if you get the angle right, you can open it. You can see right inside it for now, including that wire, which we'll just move out the way and will be pulled down a little bit. But yeah, you can see right inside the mouth, and yeah, looking great. And yeah, as I thought, you can take the guns out, so you can have them displayed without the guns, but I'm going to leave the guns in. And that is a little fiddly to put back, actually. So I'm definitely going to leave the guns in. There we go. There's the guns in there like that. There's the T-Rex head all done, but not quite. There's still one more step to finishing off this T-Rex head completely. And it involves, if I just zoom out a little bit, it involves one of the very first parts we did, which is of course the main Megazord head. I'll zoom back in actually. I don't need that zoomed out. Look at this, it just looks great. I've been displaying it like this for the last few months, but now pull this back, and what we're going to do is we're going to slide the T-Rex head over the Megazord head, just like it is done on the show. And then to attach it, if I just take this out, we have this screw hole here, and inside the base, on the base of this Megazord is this screw hole here, Megazord head I should say. So we just try and line up those pieces as much as possible like that, and then we get these fat hefty screws here, which is not like anything I've seen before in all my part work builds, actually, not just the Megazord. They are very, very different. So you put one in there and screw it together, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. And there we have it. There we have it. We have the T-Rex head all in there like that. It's a little loose, but remember that this is going to clip into place at some point when we get the rest of the body. And then if we get the angle right and open it up, you can see inside there, you see the crest of the Megazord head. But yeah, looks great. In fact, it's only going to sit like that, I think. Looks awesome. We have a T-Rex head, everybody. And this is the Megazord sticking his head through. And you can see that on the SOC one, of course. And speaking of the SOC, now it's time to do some size and look comparisons. So here is the SOC, I was going to say saber-toothed tiger, T-Rex there. And just to do some size comparisons, massive size difference. The SOC head is more secure in these joints here. But I've still got a feeling that when this clips into place and you angle it down and do all that, it is secure. But yeah, as you can see, the look is exactly the same because it's taken straight from the SOC Megazord. Looking very, very nice indeed. And then just moving SOC aside just for a second. Yeah, lie you down and bring in the original 93 T-Rex head, which to be fair was pretty spot on. I mean, you got a sticker for the cannons there, rather than anything moulding. But looks wise, they absolutely nailed it. I think this is the closest to the 93 Megazord we have seen, because the 93 Megazord did it so fantastically. The back ears are exactly the same, the paint job is the same, the eyes are the same blue. It was a sticker for this part here, which of course is moulded and painted on this one. But yeah, it's great. All three of the T-Rex heads look fantastic, and here they are all lined up, so you get some idea of the size there. And then the final thing to do is let's compare this T-Rex head to the other heads we've done. So we have the saber-toothed tiger head there, and we have the mastodon head here. Now I can't show it with the Triceratops head at the moment, because I've actually sent my Triceratops head to Model Mods. They are hopefully going to try and find a way to make the chains longer and the chain buckets bigger on the Triceratops head. So stay tuned for that special video if it does come about. If they can make a mod that sorts that out, you will get a video about that. But yeah, these three heads look great. I'm not going to do the light up features because the T-Rex doesn't have any yet. Looking at the wires, they definitely go into the body of the T-Rex, and all the electronics and stuff will come at some point. But yeah, that is the T-Rex head all done. It only took 2 issues to do the T-Rex head. Well, I mean, plus these issues as well. And then of course, when that's down there like that, you will see that will sit in the neck part there, and you'll have the Megazord. And in fact, if I bring in the plate, you're starting to see the Megazord all come together, looking very, very nice indeed. But I'll leave you with the T-Rex head here. Just move this back out. There we go. And yeah, I can't believe we've done quite a lot of the heads already. We only have one head to do now, and that is of course the pterodactyl Zord. But that won't be next week. Next week we are actually going to be looking at more of the T-Rex. So a bit like what we did with the saber-toothed tiger, where we had the front legs after the saber-toothed tiger head was completed. We're going to look at the arms of the T-Rex next week. So I hope you will join me for that. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying this build as a whole. Please leave a like if you are. Please share it and comment down below if you are. And I will see you next time for more fantastic Megazord builds. So until then guys, take care. Bye bye.